Hey folks, thanks for stopping by. On this episode of Crazy Good Adventures, we're going to drive Cade's Cove loop, the whole loop, and a few stops in the process. I hope you enjoy. If you've never had the opportunity to drive this 11-mile one-way loop road around Cade's Cove, then this is the opportunity to see it in all its fall glory. This is our fourth trip to Cade's Cove in the last 2 years, and we've already documented a lot of the stops. So on this trip, we're going to be stopping at areas that most people don't stop at and show you something that not many people know about. We recorded this trip at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Friday morning, and the crowds aren't there yet, but this place can get really packed. Being courteous and using pull-offs and designated parking areas to view the park is highly encouraged. There are two cutoff roads you can use to shorten a trip. This is the first one. It's only about a mile in. The first stop in Cade's Cove is the John Oliver cabin. This cabin is the second cabin that John Oliver built, and it was built in 1820. John Oliver, his wife Lucretia, and their daughter Polly lived in this cabin. Now that's a view, huh, baby? How's that for your morning coffee view? Although the Olivers were the first permanent European-American settlers, Cherokee people had lived in the area for thousands of years. The Cherokee were present at the time of the Olivers' arrival and had an active settlement. According to Lucretia Oliver, the family survived their first winter only because of the generosity of the Cherokee, who provided them with food. The Cove was different in 1818 from how it looks today. When the Olivers arrived, it had not yet been extensively cleared for agriculture and was densely forested, except for the west end of the Cove, which was swampland. The Olivers decided to settle on the drier east end of the Cove. Driving through the Cove today offers an opportunity to see many types of native wildlife, including white-tailed deer, wild turkey. There's an occasional fox or a wolf, and of course, the North American black bear. We didn't see any bear this morning, but there are lots of opportunities. Now remember, I've sped up this video 200%, so the average time to make that 11-mile drive around Cade's Cove is anywhere between an hour and a half to as much as 3 hours, depending on traffic. Our next stop on the loop is the Primitive Baptist Church, first organized in 1827 and was the first church established in the Cove. Originally, the church was a branch of Ware's Cove Church of Sevier County and was known as the Cade's Cove arm of Ware's Cove Church. Initially, the church had no permanent structure for meetings since it was the first church established in the Cove. Church meetings were held in the homes of members until the fall of 1832, when a log building was constructed for meetings and services. Shortly after, disagreement among members caused a split in the church. In 1839, 13 members left to start the Missionary Baptist Church due to disagreement over foreign mission work. To reflect the difference in opinion, Cade's Cove Baptist Church assumed the name Primitive Baptist Church in 1841 and has gone by that name since. The churches of Cade's Cove were not isolated in this conflict. Baptist churches all over the South were divided on the issue of mission work in the early 19th century. In 1887, after the split, members of Primitive Baptist Church constructed the classic white frame building you see today to replace the original log meeting house. The church was built by hand, and the fingerprints of those who worked on its construction can be seen on the ceiling when inside the church. The church was a vital part of life for many residents, but during the Civil War, life in the Cove changed dramatically. The congregation ceased meeting, which was upsetting for residents and explained in church records by the statement, "We was Union people, and the rebels was too strong here in Cade's Cove." In the cemetery behind Primitive Baptist Church, you can find the grave of Russell Gregory, who was murdered by Confederate soldiers from North Carolina. The cemetery at Primitive Baptist is the oldest cemetery in the Cove, and descendants of early settlers such as the Olivers, Shieldses, and Cables are still being laid to rest in it today. Let's just sit back and enjoy some of this beautiful scenery in Cade's Cove. Y'all enjoy. We're coming up on one of the most visited and photographed areas in the Smoky Mountain National Park. This is the Cade's Cove Overlook. Lots of parking here, but this place gets packed. And the views are just amazing. Our next stop is one that's not easy to find if you don't know where it is. Once you pass the Cade's Cove Overlook, there's a pull-off on the right-hand side, just enough for one car. It's a place to stop, but you gotta see. Some call it the Freedom Tree, some call it the Pearl Harbor Tree, but it was planted by Gorman Myers on his farm on December 7th, 1941. It sits as a reminder of what happened on that day in 1941 and to honor those who served and died. Mr. Myers died of a heart attack in 1945, and in the 70s his son Bernard used a chain to attach a metal tag to the tree that reads, "Goldman Myers transplanted this tree, December 7th, 1941. Over the years, many people have left flags with inscriptions remembering their family members who served, and a couple of years ago the National Park Service built this wooden fence around the tree. This may not be the most visited area of the park, but it sure is one of my favorite spots in Smoky Mountains. After spending some time at the tree, we moved on to see what else Cade's Cove had to offer. Folks, if you're enjoying this video, please like and subscribe to our channel. And hit that notification bell so you don't miss any more of our content. Like I said earlier, there's a lot of wildlife in Cade's Cove, and this person just stopped in the middle of the road because he thought he saw a deer. So he pulled over to get a better look, which is a great thing to do. Let's see what we can see. Looks like a photographer has spotted a flock of wild turkey. Let's see if we can get a good look at them. This ought to be fun. look at here. A couple of deer hanging out. Let's check these out.
I forgot to mention that I have a strong urge, a thirst for the worst. Inside daydreams, I can see past the caravans.
One of the stops we wanted to make today got canceled due to recent wildfires on Hannah Mountain. One of the most popular waterfall hikes in the Smokies is Abram Falls. You take this exit right here. It's a 5-mile round trip to the falls. We read that the trail was closed. Maybe next time. A little over halfway through your drive of Cade's Cove, you come up to the Cade's Cove Visitor Center. They have seasonal ranger-led programs, indoor and outdoor exhibits of southern mountain life and culture, a functioning grist mill, and the Becky Cable House. Also at this exit is Parsons Branch Road, which leads through Cade's Cove to Highway 129, which is known as the Tail of the Dragon. It was closed because of the wildfire too. Sometimes when you're riding on Cade's Cove Loop, you get behind traffic and you're just creeping along for quite a while. So best thing to do is just kick back and look at the scenery. If you take the second shortcut, Hyatt Lane, you'll come out at the Dan Lawson place. The Dan Lawson house was originally constructed in 1856 using logs, but later additions were framed. Even later, the entire building was covered with siding. Viewing the house from the sides offers a clear visual of these additions. The brick chimney, unusual for the time and locale, was built of bricks made on site. Another very popular place on the Cade's Cove Loop is the Tipton Place. It was owned by Fightin' Billy Tipton, a Revolutionary War veteran who acquired a large land parcel in the area in the 1820s. It features a two-story cabin, a blacksmith shop, a bee apiary, a corn crib, a smokehouse, and a cantilever barn. We've already been here on one of our last videos, so we didn't stop this time. There are a lot of great pull-offs just to stop and look at the scenery, and a lot of people do. And the last historic feature on the Cade's Cove Loop Road is the Carter Shields Place. It's also known as one of the most photographed cabins in the park. Well, folks, as we get to the end of the trip around Cade's Cove Loop, we want to thank you for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. And remember to make every day a crazy good adventure. Thanks again.